Hey guys, it's History Behind the Warrior and welcome to another Mortal Kombat 11 video. Now in today's topic and discussion I wanted to talk about the crypt and what may be the story behind it, because although the crypt doesn't have a clear story mode to it, there's definitely a bunch of Easter eggs and references that can lead to me piecing a story of what exactly has happened here. Now right before we get onto it and do talk about it, I must reiterate and reinforce this point that this is entirely a theory and assumption. The reason why I'm saying this is because the crypt clearly doesn't have a proper official story mode. It is an extra mode in Mortal Kombat 11, but seems to loosely exist outside of the main continuity. A prime example being the dead Kano we do see in Goro's lair. Now yes, I'm well aware that this is an Easter egg to the first Mortal Kombat movie, but I feel like it's at least worth mentioning here, since Kano does appear in the main story of Mortal Kombat 11. But please do remember that this is all just a theory. However, there are some interesting ideas I'm going to put across here which do actually kind of make sense. So without any further ado, let's actually talk about what exactly is going on with the crypt here. Now when we do first arrive at the crypt, we are greeted by an old but alive Shang Tsung. So it isn't quite the young version that we saw in MK9. And of course Shang Tsung is played by Cary Tagawa. Again, nice little Easter egg to the Mortal Kombat movie. Now whilst we explore the island, it is in tattered ruin, because from MK9 up to about MK11, 20 plus years have passed by and the island is more or less abandoned at this point, understandably leaving many dead. And seeing as the last time that anyone was here was during the MKX comic book series, not much has happened since then, so it has most certainly been deserted. However, despite this, it does house a large amount of power, something which we do obviously see during the Jax and Jackie chapter in the main story. So as expected, the island is a source of power that does attract many, and we're going to get back to this point in a bit, as I do believe it touches on a untouched plot thread. Now as we continue to explore the island, we find that despite it being deserted, there are in fact still a few faces roaming around the area, like Blaze and Rain around the pit area, and Reptile. We'll talk about him in a bit. Now there's nothing to actually work with on the first level of the crypt. However, when we descend lower into Goro's lair, that's where a bunch of interesting ideas start going off inside my head. Now as I'd mentioned, as we continue going through Goro's lair, we do find a dead Kano, but again it's just a movie reference. But as we stroll deeper into Goro's lair, we find the Shogun Prince dead on his own throne. For those of you who haven't read the Mortal Kombat X comic book series, Goro has his arms severed by Kotal Khan and is shunned by the rest of his race. Now because of his physical disabilities, Goro seeks out the likes of the Red Dragon, as he's well aware that they worship the Dragon King Onaga, and he wishes to utilize Onaga's amazing regenerative abilities to grow back his arms. Now although the Red Dragons are hesitant at first, Goro brings them the unconscious body of Kenshi as a bargaining chip, and thus a deal is made between the two sides. So when we do see Goro dead in his chair, his arms are now back. So the deal he made with the Red Dragons was successful. However, it does look like this didn't last very long at all, as he is dead. Now we'll get back to Goro in a bit, because whilst we're talking about Kenshi, the blind swordsman is also in the lower levels of Goro's lair, where he has also been killed. Now the reason why I'm mentioning this is because these two characters have one massive connection, and that is ties to the Red Dragons. It was absolutely no secret during MKX that Kenshi and Takeda wanted to track down the Red Dragons and make them pay for killing Su Chin, Takeda's mother, for those who don't know. So I believe that between the events of Mortal Kombat X and Mortal Kombat 11, Kenshi, Hanzo Hasashi, as we are able to use his spear in the crypt, and possibly Takeda, all go after the Red Dragons, as they do wish to destroy the crime syndicate. This trail eventually leads them to Shang Tsung's island, where I believe they wish to use its power in order to change Goro into Onaga, which would actually explain why Goro regains his arms. But during this whole ritual process, they are attacked, and not only are the Red Dragons decimated, but the ritual leads to the death of Goro. Now as this is going on, it seems that Kenshi has also fallen, fighting off a horde of Oni. Whether or not this is before or after Goro apparently dies is something I just don't know, but either way he does perish during this battle. So that is what I believe is the main story going on behind the crypt, as the Mortal Kombat X comics finished on a massive cliffhanger, and it's one that many of us want to see be resolved. But with the universe being rebooted again, it feels like the plot plot thread would have been untouched. So I personally like to think is that the crypt in a way is them wrapping up that plot thread. But I believe for the most part this wraps up a majority of ideas I did have for this theory and speculation video. Now I do want to reinforce this point that this is all just a bunch of ideas and theories I've compiled together. I believe an idea like this actually works with the material we do have at hand, but it's nothing solid in stone. As let's face it, the crypt is an extra additional mode to the rest of the game, especially when we're talking about that story mode. So it's understandable why something like this would play second fiddle and would be rather bare in comparison to the main story. So please do keep this in mind. But I hope you have enjoyed this video and have come away with some interesting ideas of what exactly could have gone on in the crypt, because there's a lot of crazy stuff that does happen here, and I do believe that the events of the crypt are like a splintered off timeline of the normal continuity, as it would make sense for certain characters to be alive and for certain ones to be dead, especially seeing as how MK11 played around with the idea of multiverses. So like I said, an idea like this is possible, just not solid in stone. But anyway, that's actually it for this video. Now down in the comments below, I do actually want to hear what all of you have to say about the crypt itself. So yes, I'll let you lots down in the comments below ultimately tell me your ideas, theories and speculations. But yeah guys, that's actually it for this one. Now before this video wraps up, if possible, let's try getting it to about 500 likes. It's a great way of supporting this channel since YouTube's ad system is broken as hell. So by giving it a thumbs up, it helps out a ton. And also don't forget to ring that bell, as YouTube has a problem of not notifying you when I upload a video. So by doing that, it will help me out and most certainly help you out. And as always, please comment, like, subscribe and share this video with everyone you know. Please take care and I'll see you all